show where we explore modern marriage from every angle, including our own relationship. I'm Allison Raskin, a New York Times bestselling author, relationship coach, and mental health advocate who makes my husband do the show with me.
And I'm John Blakesley, Allison's husband, and I am a writer who is going to start a Substack.
Woo!
I am going to take another crack at this writing thing. It's like going back to someone who just keeps hurting you. You know, I just, no matter how many times, I come crawling back.
No, this is very different because Substack is reader-based. You know, it's not just these stuffy executives in rooms deciding your fate on a whim.
Yeah, no, that's what is exciting to me is like reaching people directly as opposed to these intermediaries like the agents and the executives and them telling you how much they love it and maybe them even getting it sold and bought and then no one ever reads or sees it again. And so at least it's like one thing that's been so rewarding about this show has been the immediate feedback that people have had that like it's really helped them or they can't believe the conversations that we have in the public that they don't even have behind closed doors with their spouse, you know? And so that has been really rewarding. And so I am going to try to write this Substack really honestly from my point of view. And it has a framing around masculinity, around like being a man, a husband, a soon-to-be father, a son. Like how should I be thinking about what it means to be a man? And so I'm going to be writing it every week at Wrong Man for the Job on Substack, and I would love if our listeners could subscribe.
I've read the first one, and it's absolutely excellent. Very vulnerable.
Yes.
What a 180 we've had since we first met.
Well, you know, I was thinking about it yesterday because I've never talked about this before, but I am estranged from my parents. And
what?
And so is my sister. And it's something that's been a huge burden on me, emotional burden on our marriage. And it's something I'm going to start talking about. But I'm going to first, before we talk about it, maybe on the show eventually, I kind of want to first get down a first draft of my feelings on Substack in my writing. And I'm going to experiment a little bit with it. And so anyway, I would just love for everyone to subscribe. You can subscribe for free right now at Wrong Man for the Job. The link will be in the show notes. And I can't wait to hear what people think.
You're an incredible writer. And so I'm very excited.
Thanks, honey.
That you finally listened to me.
That's what you're really excited about, that I finally listened to you. Yeah.
No, well, it's excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
So after this love fest, actually, we're taking a big change in tone.
Yes.
Because this is going to be a very irritating episode
Ooh.
For everyone today. Because we're going to be talking about all the ways we annoy each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if, like, it's normal to annoy your spouse. Spoiler, I think it is.
Yes.
But before we deep dive into all of that, we have to do the listener's favorite segment. It's time for Marriage Moment TM. Whoosh.
You know, I weirdly loved that one.
You did?
I did, but I didn't like the whoosh.
Oh,
I like the wah, 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 wah. It like shocked and surprised me. You've never gone there before. The whoosh, though, felt like you kind of didn't know what to do. But I feel like in a second draft of it, just like own the wah, 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 wah. That was cool.
Maybe it's because we've been watching Foundation.
Right. It was like a sci-fi type of thing. Yeah. All right, cool. I like it. I was into it. You're welcome.
Wow, so I'm going to get even more experimental week to week.
Yeah.
This is where I let my creativity shine. Okay, so my marriage moment was also a recent one, but it's basically built around the idea that in our marriage, you teach me a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
From sort of like history to like the intricacies of politics to science. You taught me that I actually can't leave a plastic container on top of the microwave when I'm using it.
On top of the toaster oven.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess the lesson didn't stick.
Yeah, it didn't really. It looks like I'm not a great teacher because you were burning plastic in our home. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You
you
walked
were.
in and there was the fire starting.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but this is a moment where I got to teach you something.
Ooh.
And so it was like very exciting for me, which is I feel like I've taught you a lot about fruit.
You've taught me so much about fruit. That's so true.
And so a few weeks ago, you came to me and you said, I just had the most incredible experience of my life.
Uh-huh.
I had an amazing nectarine.
This nectarine was a religious experience. It was like I couldn't believe what I was eating, that this came from the ground.
And he said,
Do nectarines come from the ground? I don't know. This came from the earth in some way. And it was so sweet and delicious. Anyway, go ahead. I told you all about it, yeah.
And then you were like, I'm going to be a nectarine guy.
Yeah.
And I had to break the news to you that that's not really possible. Because nectarines are one of the most inconsistent fruits out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you are thinking that you're going to get a good nectarine on the regular, you're living in fantasy land.
But I want to believe.
But I had to explain to you that that was a rare experience and that there is a lot of risk when you eat nectarines. And that's why there are other fruits like pears.
You're always pushing pears. You got this pear agenda.
But there are much more consistent fruit. And then the next day you had another nectarine.
I did. I said, to hell with her. I said, ha 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 ha. I'm going to eat another nectarine.
And it was horrible.
The worst thing in my life. Disgusting.
But then the other night you came and you said, you know what? I just had a pear. And it was wonderful.
No, it was fine.
No, you said it was very good.
It was good. It was good. Was it a perfect nectarine? No.
No.
Was it even a peach? Absolutely not. But was it steady and reliable? And when I needed it, it was there for me? Yeah. Yeah, it was. And sometimes you don't always get a nectarine. You get a pear.
And you said in your old age, you're becoming a guy who likes a more reliable type of fruit rather than the chase of an excellent fruit. And then you sat down and put your arm around me. There was some not so nice implications there. But it was kind of exciting to get to, and I feel like I've introduced you to different fruits. I feel like, I'm sharing this knowledge that I have that I think just because of the different ways we were raised, you haven't uncovered.
You know a ton about animals and you know a ton about fruit. Everything else, you don't know a goddamn thing. But you want to know about kiwis, you come to Allison. You want to know about pears, you come to Allison. You want to know about giraffes, go to Allison. Anything else, Wikipedia's great.
Yeah, introduced us to kiwis, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you're eating the fur, which is disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you get 1.5 times the fiber, so.
It's so horrifying. It's not worth it.
All right, well, agree to disagree there. My marriage moment is that the other night, you and I went to a concert. And Allison has the musical taste of, someone who was born in 1989.
See? So, again, consistent.
Consistent. And so I bought you for your birthday bowling for soup tickets.
Yeah.
It was this incredible thing. There was all these openers like Lolo and 303.
Yes.
And then bowling for soup. And then the main show was, what was the main show again?
I can't say it because their fans will come for us.
Who cares? Just say it.
No, they're already coming for me, John.
It'll increase engagement.
Simple Plan.
Simple Plan. So then Simple Plan. And this is like a two-thing marriage moment, okay?
Okay. Two prongs.
First of all, while we were there so early because Allison insisted that we could not miss a second of the show. So we're the first ones up while people are still like moseying in. We're already in our seats, ready to go. The minute Lolo gets up there, we're on our feet. Allison is dancing like a crazy woman. I'm dancing. We're staying on our feet. Everyone's sitting like on their phones, like during a lot of the opening acts. We are up the entire time dancing. And I looked over at you while you were dancing and during one of the acts. And I thought to myself, like, I just love watching you light up.
Aww.
You were just so lit up. And like you love concerts and you love dancing to this music. And I was like, John, you have to make sure she goes to concerts all the time. Like, because look at her, how, like, truly your body was free and happy and you were smiling. And it's just like pure joy. And it just made me feel like I have to make sure this happens all the time for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But then also we decided by the time we got to Simple Plan, you also decided that you didn't really need to see Simple Plan. So we just left and we just had the best night laughing hysterically about how we didn't stay for the main act.
Yeah.
And so sorry, Simple Plan people, but like the place was full. It's fine. They weren't there for the openers, a lot of those
we
fans.
got 2 hours of music.
Yeah, 2 hours of music.
Before they even came. That's a full concert to me.
Right. And so then we left, and it was amazing. There was no traffic. We got home. We were in bed by 10 o'clock. It was incredible.
It was wonderful. And what was really exciting for me about that night is I've been a huge 303 fan since, like, college. And you like rap, but, like, I feel like I'd played them for you in the car, and you, like, weren't that into it. But then seeing them live,
I was like, these guys rule.
and I was like, I've been saying that for years.
Yeah. Well, now you got me.
So
hooked.
now, like, that you're a 303 fan is huge for me.
Huge for you.
Because they're one of my faves,
Yeah.
and now we can listen to them together.
There you go.
And they were so fun live.
So fun.
Yeah, and we also just got to do this really fun bit throughout the concert. Whenever anyone mentioned Simple Plan, we'd be like, "We're not here for them.
We're not here for them.
We're not here for them."
I said we didn't follow through, but I really wanted, as we were leaving the completely crowded row, like instead of saying "excuse me" to each person, just go, "We're not here for them. We're not here for them. Yeah, we're not here for them. Actually, we're not actually here for them. Thank you. Oh, thank you. We're not here for them." Just say that to like 20 people in a row.
Like, it must have been so confusing because we were the only people in our section that were up dancing the entire time.
We were like, these people are the number one fans of this concert.
Yeah, and then as soon as it was the headliner, we left.
It was awesome.
Look, I'm pregnant. I mean, standing for 2 hours was a lot. Like, I feel like I got a full night's worth.
Yeah.
Okay, so our listener marriage moment this week is very touching, and I think kind of on a little thematic in terms of hobbies here. The listener writes, "I've always been a person with many hobbies: stamp collecting, postcard collecting, numismatics." What's that? Do you know what that is?
I'd have to look at it. I don't know.
Well, I should have done that before, but I didn't. Quilting, knitting, you name it. When I lived with my parents, I'm talking childhood, adolescence, this was often a point of contention, as we were a family who moved around a lot, and we never really had a dedicated craft/hobby space. I grew up hiding my hobby materials in closets or under my bed, always expecting my parents to either throw my stuff away in the name of decluttering, or having to defend what I didn't throw out. Some of my stamps are worth a full $10.
Wow.
It was a frequent discussion, which I often lost when things got realistic. I was, after all, one of 3 kids, and moving a family every year or so is not cheap. Fast forward to me being married to a wonderful man, and when we had to move apartments for the first time as a family, for some reason I was bracing for a similar discussion. We never really fight at all, but that time I came to him ready for battle, and opened the conversation with a dramatic, "I don't care what it costs, all the yarn and the stamps are coming with us." To my surprise, he reacted like I had brought up the most obvious of details and just said, "Yeah, I know. By the way, what do you think about buying a new dresser and have it be dedicated to your craft stuff?" And that is how my hobby bins came out of the closet approximately 15 years after I did. This is a gay marriage moment. To say I melted with love at that moment would be an understatement. There is something about feeling seen and understood, but also realizing the literal and figurative baggage you bring to the marriage doesn't need to be a bad thing. This feeling is a continuous source of joy for me.
That's so wonderful.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
That reminds me of all these times I come to you and I'm like, I want this, and I don't care. And you're like, sure, whatever.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I never said you couldn't. We absolutely love receiving these from you guys, and if you want to submit your marriage moment for an upcoming episode, you can email startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. That's startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. I'm too loose today.
You're too loose.
I gotta rein it in. Welcome back to Starter Marriage. It's time to pop the question. This is the part of the show where we dive deep into the episode's main topic. And this week, we have no guest but our own minds.
Whoa.
Did that make sense? Remember we were watching a show last night and they said history is the only invention that changes the present, and I was like, what are you talking about? All inventions change the present.
Yeah, it's like the point of inventions.
Yeah. It's just like people just say stuff and you're like, huh, that sounds smart. It's like that makes no sense. This week we're going to be talking about annoying each other. Do you think we'll leave here in a fight?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
We'll find out.
I feel like on this show, our tough conversations end up being lovely, and then like out of nowhere, a different thing will cause us to have a real
absolutely.
fight.
Yeah. So true.
So, look, as a relationship coach, one of the things I talk about a lot is like you're going to annoy each other. You're going to like annoy each other. You're going to disappoint each other. You're not always going to be able to like meet their needs or be the person they want in that moment. And I think it's important to like normalize that and to also come to accept that it's okay that you are annoying to your partner.
Yeah.
Like there are moments where like I know I'm annoying you.
Yeah.
And I could like, get so worried that means you're going to leave, or that like I'm a bad wife, or like I really need to like sit with myself and like become some other person. But instead I'm sort of like, yeah, sorry.
I'm kind of annoying. For me, so I'll say this, annoying you is one of my favorite things in my life.
Yeah.
Like annoying you as a goof, like coming in the middle of your work and just kind of spewing some nonsense that you now suddenly have to pay attention to. Or like every night when you sit down for your Kindle and you just want to relax, and I sit down too and I do this goof where I pretend that I'm reading the ad on the front of Kindle. And so like for a while it's like it's often Bill Gates's autobiography, Source Code. And I'll just sit down and I'll be like, oh my God, Source Code is so good. This is so good, honey. Have you read Source Code? I'm reading Source Code.
You have not read
Yes,
Source
I have.
Code.
I've read Source Code.
No, you haven't.
Look, what you don't understand is it's like, oh yeah, I know Bill Gates, but like, do I know his source code?
Oh my
That's
God.
what the whole idea of the book is.
Let us do this topic.
And so I will annoy you for quite a while.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those action novels that are out there. I'm just like, oh yes, this is action packed. This is gonna keep me up all night. Oh yes, Agent Stark is in it this week, or whoever the person is. Depending on what action novel I'm reading that week that Kindle advertised to me on Kindle
You're not
Unlimited.
reading any of them.
I'm reading all of them, but anyway, this is annoying to you, but it's also a joke and a goof, and you're often laughing. But then sometimes I take the goof too far,
Yes.
and you are actually annoyed with me. And so it's this very funny balance where you clearly like me to bother you with nonsense and like my little characters and my guys.
I don't know a different way of life.
Yeah.
My normal.
But also I have to be careful because sometimes I am actually annoying you, and that is a difficult thing to tightrope to walk sometimes.
Seems like you just take a lot of swings.
I usually am just like, yeah, she's a little annoyed. It's worth it to see if I can make her laugh.
Well, so that's a big difference, I think. There's like funny annoyance.
Yeah.
When it's like, haha, we can laugh about it. And when I'm like genuinely annoyed with you.
Yeah.
And most of the time, 90% of the time, it's like, haha, laugh annoyance. Like, yes, it's annoying, but like we're having a goof. But there was an incident recently where I was genuinely so annoyed and mad at you of the goof that you were doing. Okay, so for years I went to this nail salon that's like right behind our house. But at a certain point I decided that I wanted to try hard gel, and I didn't think that they did that. And also it's like kind of like it's not a nice ambiance. And so I decided to go to a new nail salon. And let me tell you, wonderful decision.
Yeah.
Really nice place. They take their appointments very seriously. Great service. And now my conundrum is I can't let the people at my old nail salon ever see me again.
Which is right near our house.
Which is right near our house, and it's right near where we get frozen yogurt.
Uh-huh.
And so we went the other day, and I was like, I have to walk on the other side of the parking lot to get to the frozen yogurt place so that no one at this nail salon can see me. Because then they'll be like, where have you been? Mm-hmm. It would be a nightmare.
Right.
I actually created a cover story that I would say, "Oh, I've been saving money and just doing press-on nails." That was something I thought I could maybe say.
You already had a cover story ready to go.
If they confronted me about it.
You're like preparing for like a Seinfeld episode. And the lady
My life
being like,
is a Seinfeld
yeah,
episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you not agree with that?
Yeah.
I have like the
Honestly,
most
yes.
awkward interactions with people. And so I was going, like, I was doing a walk on the far side of the parking lot, and then you thought it would be funny to go, "Hey, is that Allison Raskin? Look, it's Allison Raskin."
That's New York Times bestselling author Allison Raskin.
Or something. And I was like, it was like, this is not the time, John. This is a high stakes operation that I'm running here. And I was so annoyed with you because, like, what if that had led to me having to confront these people or them confronting me? And it also felt like you didn't understand the gravity of the situation I was in.
Okay. Look, if you find that genuinely annoying, I will stop.
You have to stop
But
that.
do understand you saying this is a high-stakes situation and the gravity of the nail salon sounds comedic. Like, you're smiling and laughing as you're saying it.
Right, but
So
we have to take that off the table.
The line is very difficult. And, like, also you look into the nail salon, no one is out there looking for you.
They're not looking for me, but they could spot me.
And so you think they're going to spot you and confront you?
Yes, 100%. If one of them recognized me and saw me, they would 100% say, "Where have you been?"
Wow.
Yeah. I had to avoid a Crabtree and Evelyn at my old mall back home for like 10 years because I used to work there and I thought it'd be awkward to run into people. That was on me. That wasn't really necessary to avoid them. I don't know why I thought it would be so awkward to say hello.
Yeah, so you also got a lot of issues
But
going
that's
on.
a different thing.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like, I have actively stopped being their client.
Right.
And it would be hurtful for
Now,
them.
you could just say, honestly, I found a new place and it's just better for me right now.
I'd rather die.
Like, what if your clients asked you about running into an ex-boyfriend or something? You would say, yeah, just go around.
What? That's nothing like this.
This is more important.
Well, it's a different thing. I mean, you know, like, there's an understanding not all relationships work out. But
there's an
you
understanding
have to
that all
stay
nail
with your nail salon.
All right. Well, I'll stop doing that goof for your benefit.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have some things that you annoy me
Uh-oh.
about.
Uh-oh.
I got two things that come to mind.
Wow.
Actually, I got a whole list. I wrote it
Oh,
down.
no.
But
You never prep for these, except for this one.
oh, I'm going to get her this week. Okay, I got two things. One is how you always put yourself down.
Oh, interesting.
You often put yourself down or diminish your accomplishments to people or in a public setting. I mean, we previously talked about how you'd done that to me and we had a good talk about it and we got past that. But you also do it to yourself so frequently. And like people will be like talking about one of your books and they'll be like, oh yeah, like it's such a great book. And you'll be like, well, it's not selling well. You know, or like, who knows if I'll ever get to write another one again. Like you immediately go to negging yourself and
Well, negging implies I'm later going to try to seduce myself.
well, which might maybe. But you know what I mean? Like it does annoy me because I'm always like, and because sometimes I want to brag about you and like brag about my partner and be like, yeah, she's like a New York Times bestselling author. Because a lot of times people are like, hear me say like, oh, my wife's a writer. And they go, oh yeah, does she like self-publish? Literally someone asked me that this past week and they go, oh, so how does she self-publish? And I was like,
Really?
yeah. And I was like, my wife writes for HarperCollins.
What a wild assumption to make.
I know.
Yeah.
And so
What'd they say?
she was like, oh my God. And like totally, and I was like, but you weren't there to like diminish yourself. And so I was just like straight up bragging about you. And like, it felt nice. And it made me realize like, oh, sometimes when we're like in a group and I want to like build Allison up a little bit and she like undercuts herself, she's actually not only she's doing it for herself because you have some weird like, I don't know, worry that you're not worthy of praise, but you're also robbing me of the opportunity to brag about you and to be like, hey, this is like my partner and I like love her and like she's incredible. And like, instead of like focusing on the negative thing that you want to focus on, like, yeah, like, hell yeah, you have accomplished things that so many people have not accomplished, and it's incredible. And you don't always have to be undercutting yourself.
All right, I'm gonna become an arrogant megalomaniac because I don't understand the middle. No, but that is a very interesting framing of like that I'm robbing you of something. So I am going to try to be much better about that.
There you go.
I need to say, why don't you also mention this thing I did?
And you just become insufferable.
Yeah.
But honestly, that you like, I would almost prefer that because it's funny, you know? Because I just know that you really do take seriously your own critiques of yourself and your own like, well, I have to caveat my accomplishments in some way. And honestly, I think you would do well if you just tried for a little while to just say like, brag about yourself a little bit, and you might just see that like it for you, it's not going to come off as bragging. It's going to come off as, I don't know. I think it's going to come off as normal. I think it's more difficult when people are like genuinely interested in what you're doing, and then you're changing it to some negative thing that's going on in your life, and it becomes this vortex sometimes in the conversation. And I'm like, why couldn't you just take the compliment?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll stop embarrassing me in front of the nail salon, and I will start immediately bragging when I meet new people. I'm glad we hashed that out. No, I'm gonna work on it. You know, I brag about myself when I need to. Like,
Right.
if I'm in a professional meeting,
Right.
I sell myself hard.
Right.
But I guess, like, you know, I think the caveats are, like, come back to that misrepresenting myself thing. And also just, like, you know, my actual state of mind where, like, I do live in fear right now that I won't sell a book again. And
Right.
this is, like, the first time in years where I don't have an upcoming book. Like, I
Right.
do, because it comes out next year.
Yeah.
But, but, like, after that book, it's like, but will I, you know,
Right.
like.
But that's the life
it's
of a
weird-
writer.
Right.
You know, no one gets like a lifetime book deal.
Well, Stephen King.
He gets one effectively, but I don't know if he has like literally a lifetime book deal. You
I
know?
bet he does.
He might. Okay, so other than Stephen King and maybe a very small amount of
Yeah.
people, most writers, like that's your
Yeah,
life. You're
you're right.
creative, you know? And
I guess then it becomes I get worried about attaching too much of my identity to being an author, because then what if I'm no longer an author?
tell me about it. That's been my whole identity crisis for like a year now. Please subscribe to the Substack. But yeah, so I completely understand that.
Yeah. So it's like.
But right now you are, and
Yes,
you
right
might
now
as
I
well,
am.
and you always will be. You always will be a published author. You know, part of my identity crisis was like, no, like I was like kind of a successful TV writer for a minute, but there's really no proof of it, you know, because it all died in drawers in various parts of Hollywood. And so, you know, there was one day at school where someone said, I looked you up on IMDb. It's like, and he was like, yeah, I guess like nothing ever got made, huh? Or like, he like said that, and he was being so sweet. And I drove home and I cried the entire drive home, because I was like, I have nothing to show for this time in my life, even though it was like successful, but only like a handful of people will ever know that that time was successful, because all they'll ever see is like, it didn't exist in the world. And just, you know, do me this favor, is that like you have books that exist in the world and people are reading and helping people. Just no matter what happens in the future, I hope you can always own that. Even if you're running your animal sanctuary somewhere in Colorado, you were always an author who produced things that are out in the world and that people love. And so at least if not for you, for people like me whose stuff has died in, you know, executives' desks, like, you know, own it.
Thank you. Well, that's why I'm excited for you to now get to write things people can read on a weekly basis.
Completely.
What's the second thing I do that annoys
Okay,
you?
so let me get back to how you freaking annoy the crap out of me. Actually, I like want to bring this up because we were talking about it at breakfast the other morning, which is that we were talking about the previous conversation we had on the podcast about how you don't like touch, and like you are really like, you have sensitivities, and like sometimes if I put my arm around you or something, you'll like flinch, and like you have to like look for those moments. And it made me think, that like one thing that does annoy me sometimes is that the dogs are like, yeah, like it's one thing to accept that you have touch sensitivities, but sometimes I feel like the dog's needs are above mine, where it's like I'll be like in bed, I'll be like, man, I really wish I could cuddle with Allison right now, but she has her touch sensitivities. And then I look over and Phantom's face is planted in your face and his paws are scratching your chest and his little tail is like hitting up against your body, and then I'll be like, hey honey, and you'll be like, no. And like for some reason the rules of touch apply to me but not to Phantom.
I can't explain it.
What do you think that's about?
I think because he's more like a stuffed animal, and it's not like skin to skin. It's like fur to skin. It just feels different.
Do you think that makes sense? Okay, so there is a sensory component,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Because I was like wondering if there's like a component of sexual expectation. Like there's like you're not in the mood for that, and you worry that if you cuddle with me, that it will lead to something. Whereas like obviously, like that just doesn't apply to Phantom. Like do you think that's part of it, or you think
That's
it's
part
literally
of it
just
sometimes?
Yeah,
But also, I do think that like sometimes skin is like warm in a way
yeah.
that is like different than fur.
Oh, so it is interesting. So if I became a furry,
Yeah.
like, and I got into like a costume, you would cuddle with me because I would be more like a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
But then it'd be interesting. It'd be like, finally, she's cuddling, but I can't feel it. It's like some weird bubble boy type situation. Yeah, but I'm in like a sheep costume.
Well, come year
Okay.
15 in this
You know,
marriage,
we're gonna be
maybe we'll give it a try.
We're going to be looking to spice things up somehow. And yeah, just get
No,
that for
I
our
do think
anniversary.
maybe that's true sometimes, like with the expectation and just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But I also think there is like a true sensory difference between the two things.
Right. That's interesting. I hadn't put that together.
Hmm.
And so when Phantom is clawing at you and he's licking your face and he's sneezing on top of you, those are sensories that are fine. But my arm around your shoulder is too much. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So this is something that I feel like a lot of people and couples probably feel is like that you leave your stuff out a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't like to have stuff out.
Yeah.
And so it becomes this like thing of like, do I just every single day put your stuff away?
Yeah.
Or do I nag you to put it away?
Right.
And I'd say like 95% of the time I just put it away.
Yeah.
But then I know that like a lot of people like don't like that approach because it's like, why do I have to do this extra burden?
Yeah.
But I would just like rather put it away. So like almost multiple times I'd say every day I have to put the stuff on the sink away for you.
Mm.
And it's like,
What stuff on the sink?
right, you don't even notice.
No, but what are you referring
Like
to?
your creams, your sunblock, your
on in the bathroom
Yeah.
sink. Oh, yeah. I always wonder. I was like, I thought I left this out. And then it goes in there. You did that.
Yeah. I do it like multiple times every single day because you just leave it all over the sink.
Huh.
And that really annoys me.
I honestly, it didn't even occur to me that right, yeah, that annoys you, huh?
Yeah. And so I'm constantly putting it away. And then I'm often putting your shoes away.
Yeah, you're always putting my shoes
I'm
away.
always putting your shoes away. I'm putting away, like, you leave things on the kitchen table, trying to put that away.
Right.
Like, I like things to be where they go.
Right.
Because it's just visually, like, more calming. Just
Right.
feels, like, nicer in the home.
All right. Well, yeah, you know. Yeah, I can try to work on that. Totally.
But also, it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, but how much does it truly matter, right?
Right.
Because, like, I put it away in 15 seconds.
Right. And so the annoyance is short-lived too.
Yeah, and so it's like, and I think that like that's the stuff of it's like, yeah, you're living with another person who like doesn't operate the way that you do,
Right.
and like has different preferences and think different things occur to them, and so like, you know, I feel like it's often like a pick your battles situation, and then like not
Because I'm
letting-
not leaving the cream out there purposefully. I'm not like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Right.
I didn't even realize you were putting it away. I guess I just magically
What?
thought. I literally never occurred to me.
I do it multiple times every single day.
I always thought it was like the housekeepers or something, but they're only here
What?
once every 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't No. I
That's
just
wild.
never thought about it.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me.
That's bananas. No, you leave it all. It's a total mess. Like, I have a container where all my things go.
Yeah.
And you don't have that.
No.
And you just go willy-nilly on the sink.
The world is my container.
Oh, no. That was annoying. And I'm constantly wiping the sink down. Like, it's covered in, it's a black sink, so it's covered in stuff. I'm wiping that down at least once a day.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know that. I guess you haven't even been acknowledging or appreciating that.
Well, now I will. Now every time that I come in here and I see, I'm like, where's my cream? I'll be like, Allison. She's a great wife. And I'm an annoying husband.
But then a thing that I do that you've had to correct me on multiple times and I keep fucking up is stacking the plates in the kitchen sink in a dangerous and reckless way.
We have this really nice kitchen stuff, and she just stacks it in this precarious way that something is going to fall down and crack. Or like the other day, you took one of our beautiful knives and it was like stuck in the steel. You like decided to just like throw it in tip first down into the most delicate part of the knife. But I will say, I did notice yesterday, because I was preparing and obviously I was going to bring this up, and that you moved a smaller bowl to put a bigger bowl in the sink and then put the smaller bowl on top. And I said, yes, we build a stable base. Pyramid. If we have to stack things momentarily in the sink, we think about the pyramid so it doesn't come crashing down.
I've been trying
and so I noticed it, and I could have complimented you on it, but I didn't.
So I've been taking your notes under advisement. Obviously, sometimes like you, like I won't think about it.
Right.
But I feel like I've gotten way better at that.
Yeah, you have.
Because I did break things.
Yes.
And I got in trouble.
Yes, you did break an expensive bowl, and so we had to pay the price for that.
That's like I find like what's so funny about like me is people probably think I would never do that.
Yeah, and you do.
Like that's like where it's like the OCD is so different than like my true self.
Right.
Where like I'm so reckless about stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Oh well, but then I like everything to look nice.
Right.
And be contamination free, sanitized to the highest degree.
Your degrees.
Yeah.
Your.
Do you find me being in a bad mood annoying?
Oh, that's interesting. Sometimes, like if you are in a bad mood, I have just been like, I have had, now that you bring it up, I didn't write that down, but sometimes I'm just like, Allison, suck it up. Or like, Allison, like, can you just do this for me? And like sometimes maybe if we're out with someone you don't like, and I have had the thought before of just like, just put on a happy face. Just pretend to like them. Because you're very blunt and you're very like, sometimes we can see through it, and I have had that thought before. It's obviously not annoying or frequent enough that I even thought about it for this episode today, but I have had that thought. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that can be upsetting to people, but I think something that helped me is like realizing that like your bad moods aren't mine to fix.
Yeah.
And that like I don't need to like go with you into a bad mood.
Right.
And so therefore it like doesn't actually matter that much.
Yeah.
To my internal world. In the same way.
That's
Whereas,
good.
like, I think, like, in the past, if it was, like, someone was in a bad mood, it was, like, so annoying.
That's good if you are in a bad mood, though, because, or if I'm in a bad mood, because it's like, and I'll think about it for you, too. Sometimes you're in a bad mood and you just kind of want to be there for a moment without worrying about how it's going to affect the other person.
Right.
And so, yeah, just sometimes I have gotten better as I've gotten older to just be like, yeah, well, they're just in a bad mood or they're pissed, but they'll get over it.
Something I've really had to adjust to with you is that you will go, oh my God, or like, in reaction to something, and then you won't tell me what it is. Like, you'll have this huge reaction to, like, something that you're reading or a conversation on the phone or, like, and I'll be like, what? And then you, like, really make me wait to find out what the hell caused you to have such a huge reaction.
Well, I'm in the middle of something.
Okay, but, like, I would just be like, da-da-da. Like, this is, like, a a pig could fly,
Yeah.
or like I would just like quickly tell you the thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you like really make me wait, and sometimes like for a long time. And I'm a very impatient person by nature, and I also have a lot of anxiety. And so, like, the uncertainty of, like, that gasp could mean someone is dead. That gasp could mean that, like, you have cancer. That gasp could mean so many horrible things.
Yeah.
And then having to learn to, like, you're just simply not going to tell me for a while.
Uh-huh.
And, like, that's, like, been, like, something I've had to, like, work on self-soothing around of just, like, all right, I hope I find out at some point.
Well, if it was genuinely a problem, I would tell you.
No, you don't. You take time to like process it before you tell me, and it's really annoying.
All right, I'll think about that. I'll try to be more aware that you are anxious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like also a lot of times I'll be like, it's probably about the Yankees. Like, you know, the amount of times it is something significant is small, but like that was like a major adjustment for me.
Yeah.
And like learning that that's like what you do.
Yeah. I don't like my attention drawn a lot. Like if I'm in something and I'm reacting, it's because I'm really engaged in something. So I don't like my attention to get split a lot. It's like, yeah, so.
All right, you want to throw one more at me?
Sometimes you miss the meaning of a social interaction. Like sometimes there's like a subtext to a social interaction that is just like someone is trying to connect with you or someone is trying to like talk to us about something, and you kind of only read the surface level, and you wind up taking us down like a conversational path we wouldn't have otherwise. And so like a good example of that is like how you'll like someone will, like, to get back to what I was talking about earlier, someone will be like, "Oh my God, Allison, I loved your book." And you'll be like, "Well, it isn't selling well." And not only are you like negging yourself, which I would like you to work on, but also sometimes it's very obvious that like the subtext in the conversation is like this person is like saying, "I spent time on this thing for you because I want you to like me," or I want to have a connection with you. I want to have a conversation with you about this.
Does this apply to anything other than my work?
I would have to, yes. Sometimes you kind of miss the like intuitive interpersonal like subtext of a social situation that I feel like I'm like maybe overly sensitive to. And I just like,
I need another example beyond the work one to fully understand what you mean.
okay, I can't think of it and we don't have the time, but
yeah.
But I can always bring it up in a future episode.
Yeah, let me know another time how I annoy you.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay.
Now you'll get to make more lists.
Yeah.
All right, so we emerged from that kind of unscathed.
I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I think we each have some what is it? Helpful criticism or like constructive criticism for things to work on, and I should put up a sign of how many days I haven't broken a dish. You know. Okay, well now it is time for our final segment, my soon-to-be patented game show, Stay or Leave, where I present you with a hypothetical scenario, something I might do in the future, and then you tell me if you would stay or leave me, because marriage is a choice, not a trap. I'm spilling all of my files. I come prepared. All right. I see a TikTok that says it is important to wake up every day to your favorite song and immediately jump out of bed for a 5-minute dance party. I tell you that you don't need to participate in this life-changing new habit, but I will be bouncing out of bed to Blink-182 every single morning from now on for my own mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Would you stay or leave?
Man, I love to sleep.
Yeah, you really do.
You know I love to sleep.
Yeah.
And, you know, this could take me years off my life, not getting that final REM sleep. But I think I would stay, and I would just have to get to bed earlier. And then it would just be, hopefully, this fun alarm clock that I'm waking up to you just being joyful. Because like I said earlier, you rocking out and dancing to music is so joyful to watch. And so I guess it would be lovely to see you light up every morning. And that's the first thing I see.
You say that now, but you'd leave after 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it would wear off for sure. There's a diminishing returns to it all. But yes.
Maybe I feel like the compromise, to be more honest, would be that it can't just be Blink-182.
Right. You have to change the song or the band a little bit.
And I'd have to like do songs you like too.
Right.
But I'm not willing to in this scenario.
In this scenario, it's only one song.
Yeah. No, it's only one band.
One
Give me a
band,
bunch of
okay.
songs. But you seem
And
to think they all
Blink-182, it's
sound the
really,
same.
I mean, they're banging the drums, they're strumming the...
Well, you bang the drums when you have one of the best drummers of all time in your band.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So.
And I bet I would hear about that every morning too.
Congratulations on making it to the end of another episode.
Congratulations to you, Allison, for making it to the end of another episode.
If you were thinking, I want to watch this dynamic duo while I'm listening to them, you can check out the full video version of this podcast on youtube.com/justbetweenus.
And please like, subscribe, and send the podcast to one of your friends. We're really trying to grow the podcast. And so getting it out to more people or more fan bases, that's exactly what we're trying to do right now.
Send it to your partner and say, listen to this. How do I annoy you? I have a list of how you annoy me.
Right. Tell them that you have a list.
And if you want to submit your marriage moment, you can send an email to startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com. That's startermarriagepodcast@gmail.com, where we also welcome topic suggestions and constructive criticism.
And while we're at it, why don't you check out Allison's books? I think Conversations of Modern Marriage by Allison Raskin, or Save the Date, a wonderful rom-com.
And check out John's new Substack, Wrong Man for the Job. Very exciting.
I'm really looking forward to it.
As we say in our home, good night to me, the Alibaba.
Good night to you, the Alibaba.
Thank you.